Can you remember a time when you helped someone to resolve a problem? How did your involvement influence? Throughout my life, I'd say throughout my years in school, I think I've helped many people. I think I've helped more people that have actually helped me, to be honest. And but the occasion that I want to talk about today was in a way, at the day it was very simple. Didn't really mean much, but looking at it now and in the past years, growing up a bit, I've come to the conclusion that you need to act like that every day of your life, and just keep moving forward. So this time it goes back to my years in 8th grade. In 8th grade at ICS, I was basically in my school's ski trip. We went all the way to Andorra, and I went along a couple of friends. We went with the school, but two of my closest friends were with me. And we were in our room, inside the hotel, and we had this thing. It was towards the end of our ski trip. We had already skied. The 5 days of skiing had gone by. It was the last day that we were there, and to kind of celebrate our station at Andorra, we would we would go to a spa. It was a very nice spa, very big in Andorra. It's, I think, one of the biggest spa. I think it's the biggest spa in the country. But aside from that, we were going to go to this place called Caldea to have a relaxing time, after the days of skiing. And so basically, there was a little problem. All of my friends wanted to go. We all wanted to go. But one of them was unsure of going. This friend of mine was really close to me. He's still really, he's still a close friend. Maybe not as close as back then, but he's still a friend. And he had a little problem. Basically, he was a bit overweight, to put it that way. He wasn't obese. He didn't have obesity problems. He was just a bit obese. And although it might sound childish or embarrassing, I don't know, I look at it as a serious point. He had what we call maybe his due to the fat that he had, it made him look like if he had breasts. Okay, he was a man, but due to being a bit fat, a bit overweight, his chest looked like it had breasts. Back in the day, we made jokes around it. He laughed with us, but we always were kidding. We were always kidding, and we had respect for him. And we were about to leave the hotel. He had already paid. We had all already paid. And 10 minutes, before having to go to the bus, we were all in a hotel room, and then at a certain time we would have to go down to reception and get in the bus. 10 minutes before that key time, all of my other friends had left. It was only us in the room. We were delayed for some reason, and he basically, I was putting my swimsuit and everything, and he sat down on his bed and told me, "Juan, I don't want to go. I don't want to go." And I turn around and I'm like, "What are you talking about? What do you mean you don't want to go?" And he didn't cry, but I could see sadness in his face. The way he was looking the ground, the way his facial expression was solidified, the way he didn't speak for 5 solid seconds without finally giving me a reason why he didn't want to go. He looked me dead in the eye and told me, I don't want to go because I'm afraid. I don't want to go because I'm scared that people will laugh at me. I don't want to go because I'm not happy with the way my body looks. Well, what if people laugh? What if they make fun of me? What if... So I stopped them right there. And I told them, what if you actually have fun? What if you ignore what other people have to say about you? What if you put other people's opinion about you to a side? And what if you focus in the given moment? Stop caring what people say about you, you know? Those people don't matter. I told them to not care. I told them, look, I'm not gonna give his name, but I told him, look, it doesn't matter what people think about you, alright? What only matters is what you think about yourself. And I asked him, what do you really feel? Tell me, be honest, what do you really feel? And he told me, I don't feel happy with myself. I'm not proud of the way I look. And I want to change. I want to change. So you want to change? Do you think by staying in your room, you're going to change? Do you think that by hiding something that you want to change, it's going to disappear? You really think that? So I told him, look, if you want to change, you change when you get home. But you change for good. You change your eating habits, you start doing sport, and you change. That's how you change. You gotta take action. If you just hide, if you just run for your problems, you're just gonna die tired. And that's it. And they'll always catch up to you. You'll run forever, but eventually you'll meet a wall. And when you meet that wall, there will be no end. And your problems will catch you, and you'll have to face them. So if you don't want to face your problems, you gotta break the wall. If you don't want to feel sad, you gotta break the wall. If you don't want to feel fat, you gotta break the wall. What's the wall? To lose weight. As simple as that. So in conclusion, I told them, look, don't let other people's opinion bring you down. Don't let what others think of you make you do things that you won't have done in the first place. You want to do something, you go and you do it. It doesn't matter what people say. I want to do something, I want to start a business. I have the craziest ideas, okay? I had this idea of putting on a helmet and messing around with your visual, auditory, taste, your smelling, all of these senses, messing up with your senses and basically making lucid dreaming, making you picture yourself in such a vivid way anywhere you want, anytime you want. And just this simple idea, I told it to my friends, hey, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? And they all looked at me and laughed at me. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Wow, that's so, really? From all the things you could think of? From all the things I could think of, I thought of that thing none of them thought of. And to this day, I still think it's a great idea. Why? Because I'm not letting them tell me tell me what to do, or what to think, or what to believe. At the end of that day, my friend and I, we had the best spa time in our lives. We had, I don't know, I went to the best pool in the world, or that I had gone to. I had got the best sauna thing in the world, and I just felt super alive and super relaxed when I got out of there. And that night, before going to bed, my friend looked at me and he told me, "Thank you, man. Thank you for really showing me how I should be, how I should take action, and how I shouldn't let others stop me from doing what I like." Obviously, I care for my friend, right? I care for him, and I often, and I would tell him, you try, if you're gonna tell something to someone, if you're gonna criticize them or do something that they don't like, make sure that it's for their good. If I tell them, yo, come on, man, you gotta eat healthy, you gotta do some sport, I'm not telling him, I'm not hurting his feelings. I'm just recommending him. I'm just telling him things for his best. A bad thing would be to call him a fat ass, to call him an obese person. Meaningful things that at the end of the day, alright, you might be trying to tell him in a way to lose weight, but you're not helping him. You're not encouraging him. You gotta encourage people. That's what I learned from this experience. You gotta encourage those maybe who you work with, those who are your friends. If you want to motivate someone, if you want to carry out a point, you gotta take it through motivation. You gotta encourage the person you're trying to work with. If you're working with someone and you keep telling them what they're doing is wrong, stop. Tell them, help them see what they've done wrong. Try to explain to them how they have done it wrong. Don't tell them that they've done it wrong and aggravate them and say bad stuff to them. That's not gonna help them. How's that gonna help them? Just encourage them to see that what they have done is not correct through an encouraging way. If someone makes a bad pass, tell them in any sport. Tell them in football. Say you're playing football and your teammate makes a bad pass. Don't tell them, "Man, what kind of pass was that? Don't do that again." Don't tell them that. Tell them, "Hey, thanks for your effort. Thank you for trying. But next time, try to make the pass a bit sooner. Just keep doing what you're doing, but just pass a bit sooner, and it'll be amazing. Next time, your friend will try to pass sooner because he'll know that will be amazing." If you criticize him, all you're gonna make him is more nervous when he has the ball and maybe pass the wrong teammate or pass the ball to the other team. So in conclusion, given the experience that I had with my friend and analyzing it, over the years and thinking about it every time I make a mistake, every time I'm about to take action and something stops me, I always think about what I told him. Every time I'm about to do something where I'm out of my comfort zone or where I'm scared of what other people think of me, I go back to this memory and I try to remember exactly what I told him. And I try to be that person back again. Because that person who encourages others through talking, through positive explanation, and without hurting their feelings, that's what makes a great leader. That's what makes a perfect leader. You might have leaders out there who are arrogant, who are not really liked, honestly, by the people they lead. And when you think about it, the reason why they're there is maybe because of their power, because they add terror, because they scare those who they work with. Because the people maybe that are following them have no option. You know, it might be their only exit. Maybe that's why they become leaders. What I think, and I'm not going to let, as I mentioned before, anyone else tell me this, but I feel that what makes a great leader is those that know how to talk to people. Those who make those that want to be led only by you. Those who simply don't want to be be led by you. Not by telling them to do things, but by encouraging them. By giving them an option and making this option, exciting them and convincing them through their own choice, giving them their own choice that they need to follow you. That night I gave my friend a choice. He was free to do whatever he wanted, but I convinced him. I convinced him good. And I convinced him for the best. And in this life, yeah, sometimes you have to convince yourself. You have to convince yourself that people will make you do things that they know they're not capable of doing. If someone knows that they are incapable of starting a business, they're going to tell you that you are incapable of starting a business as well. So what do? You encourage yourself through positive affirmations. That you want to not be affected by what other people think. You encourage yourself by giving yourself a choice and by convincing yourself that you don't want to be led by them. That you want to be led by yourself. And that is what I took from this story.